Oh God, Blake.
Are you okay?
No.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Oh shit.
Right
We
there.
have to run.
Right there.
Lynn Langermann is one of the most important characters with the least amount of screen time in the game Outlast 2. The wife and co-worker of protagonist Blake Langermann, Lynn is an investigative journalist by trade, and it's her passion for uncovering the truth that brought her to the canyons of Arizona in the first place. During the events of the game, it's Blake's search for his missing wife that keeps him going, her safety being of the utmost concern as he battles the many deadly forces of Templegate.
They lived down here. No, not lived. I had to find Lynn. I hoped I hadn't already.
The story of Lynn Langermann as we know it begins with her childhood. While we don't have a great many details about Lynn when she was a young girl, we do know that she attended the St. Sybil Catholic High School and was good friends with two of her fellow classmates, Jessica Gray and Blake Langermann. During Lynn's younger years, she and Jessica were best friends, often passing notes in the classroom and talking about the goings-on of their day-to-day lives. Jessica lamenting her boring classes, and Lynn teasing her about her crush on Blake. The two girls' lives seemingly being that of any normal school-aged young girls. Jessica would get jealous when Blake and Lynn were set to star in a school play, which required them to kiss, but for the most part, the friendship between the three was strong, their lives generally being quite typical. That is, until 1995, when tragedy would strike the group. Seemingly unbeknownst to Lynn, Jessica was suffering from some form of depression, and without reaching out to her, took her own life in winter of that year. Lynn was no doubt shocked, not being able to see the signs that her friend had been suffering behind the scenes. The tragic event no doubt causing Blake and Lynn to find comfort in each other, the sadness of the situation creating a deeper connection between the two. And even though Blake would seemingly never open up about the circumstances surrounding this tragedy, life for the pair would go on, and their relationship would blossom through the sadness.
Hospital footage organized.
You were calling out some other woman's name.
What?
In your sleep. Jessica, I think. You know a Jessica?
Oh, no. I mean, I was dreaming about Jessica Gray from when we were kids.
Oh, yeah. I haven't thought about her in ages.
Hey, we're crossing into...
Sometime after high school, Lynn and Blake would get married, both taking jobs in the field of journalism. Lynn would become an investigative journalist, and Blake would be her cameraman, the couple moving beyond the tragedies of their childhood. Jessica Gray becoming an upsetting memory, subconsciously dwelling in the recesses of their minds as the couple moved on to more current events. One day, while following up on an interesting lead, Lynn would find her way to a hospital in Arizona where, a few days prior, a young pregnant woman had died. Reports of the incident from the police pegging the death as a suicide. But to Lynn, the whole situation smelled like a cover-up, and so she and her husband went in search of what it was that was being hidden. Lynn managed to get her hands on medical records from the unidentified woman, these reports showing that she had an irregular amount of mercury in her blood, a sign which Lynn took as meaning that she'd spent her life downstream of a factory, and so she and her husband set out in search of just that. Unfortunately, while scouring the area where the girl was found, troubles with the helicopter caused them to crash. Blake was thrown from the wreckage, and when he awoke, Lynn was gone.
She wasn't there. Lynn's body wasn't in the wreckage. She could still be alive.
Lynn had been taken by cultists from the Testament of the New Ezekiel, taken to their prophet, Sullivan Noth, to see what she was doing in their paradise. And once he'd had the chance to examine her, he found that she was with child. Pregnant with the one that the cult had sworn to destroy. Pregnant with the one that would bring destruction to the world. Pregnant with the spider-eyed lamb. the enemy, the Antichrist. Although Lynn didn't appear pregnant, the cult knew that she was with child, and they attempted to kill her before she could give birth. Despite their best efforts, however, Lynn managed to escape their grasp, jumping from a nearby window and stumbling into her husband, Blake. Helping her to her feet, Blake and Lynn escaped into the woods surrounding the community. Unfortunately, this would be no safe haven, as the pair got jumped by a splinter cell of the Testament of the New Ezekiel known as the Heretics, accompanied by their leader, Val. Val and her followers took Lynn, taking her deep into their territory for safekeeping, as they wanted to see her give birth to this devil that the cult believed was within her, leaving Blake to pick up the pieces of the trail and hunt for his now missing wife, who seemed to be having some odd pains consistent with pregnancy, a pregnancy that the cult seemed to have willed upon her.
Ah! Oh God! Oh,
What is it?
my stomach. It hurts. Something's wrong. Fuck.
Within the depths of the mines that the heretics called home, Lynn was imprisoned, her mind no doubt buzzing with what was happening to her, as mere hours after being accused of being pregnant, a child seemed to be forming. In the darkness of the mines, the heretics erected a statue for the birth, waiting on bated breath as Lynn's stomach grew and she screamed for her husband. Luckily, after many perils of his own, Blake arrived. Seeing his wife tied up by the heretics, her stomach now resembling that of what the cult had purported her to be. Terrified, the couple called out for each other, but as Blake approached the altar, he passed out. And in his absence, the heretics were attacked by the Testament of the New Ezekiel, Lynn freeing herself and escaping in the confusion. Once he awakens, Blake flees the conflict himself, finding Lynn near the exit of the mines. And as he helps her to her feet, she tells him that the child is on its way, and that they need to find somewhere for the birth. Lynn and Blake attempt to find somewhere safe to give birth to their child, as a biblical storm rages in Templegate. Lynn telling her husband that she feels like something is wrong, begging him to find her somewhere soon. And as they approach the chapel of the cult, the only building that seems to have withstood the storm, Lynn gives birth to this child of prophecy. Or does she?
Lynn!
There's nothing there.
Oh, Jesus God! Lynn! 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 No! Lynn!